Right guys, so I'm down in a sort of medium meadow. That's a bloody wren, typical. A wren literally just landed on the fence. That's really good to see because I think they're Britain's smallest bird. And I've left all of this wildlife. So when the farmer mowed everything, he left all this bit here, which is just out of shot from where you are. Oh, Tommy's getting buzzed. By the swallows. Oh, typical. Hello, Tom. You alright? Come say hello. He literally just got dive bombed by the swallows. Did they give you a bit of hassle? Come here. Come on in. Britain's smallest bird. So we've got all this rough area here, which I'm going to put a feeding station here, I think, for into winter, because they sort of nest in the bush down there, if not that. So anyway, Tommy's a little bit less active now on the hunting side of things due to his eye. So yeah, I think it might be all right. So I think tomorrow I'll go and get some food for the birds, as it's 5 o'clock now, and go from there. Hello, mate. Meow. You all right? Hey? Meow. Here he is. He's come to see me. He's come to say hello. Haven't you? You're out in the troublemaking mode. Been asleep all day, which is quite funny. So, and then just getting dive bombed by 2 swallows, which was quite amusing. So they got within about 2 feet of him, didn't they? Yeah. What are you doing? Purring away. So anyway, I'm trying to photograph the swallows a bit more. So there's one here just buzzing around now, which may dive bomb him again. Who knows? Depends what he gets up to. So I'm going to put you back down. There you go. Going to find somewhere in the sun. And hopefully get some shots of them as they're doing now. They're flying low over the grass, but they're quite a hard one to actually capture. And he's going to come straight past us now. And Tommy's leaning right against me. Hello, sorry, I'll just stop stroking you. And yeah, so oh, that's the I think that's the kestrel. Lost him. Got a kestrel. He's right above us. It's quite amazing. See if he comes back to do a bit of hovering. Shooting into the sun, not ideal. I'm running out of rotation. There we go, he's buggered off. So earlier, which you'll see in the video, I'll put it in there, he was down on the tree down there, and a magpie decided to piss him off, and off he went. They are little bullies, the old magpies, but I don't know where he's gone now. He might be sitting on a post or something. Who knows? But anyway, back to the swallows. They're going to go soon. They're going to migrate. They head down towards Africa, don't they? So yeah, so I thought we'll try and capture some shots. The sun is now here, which is nice. Some of the cloud covers moved away, which is nice. What are you doing, Tom? Hey, why don't you come out in the sun? Hey? Hey? No, I'm just going to stand there. But now I know there's a wren, well, there's been more than one wren if there's a wren. Quite good to be able to see. That'll be a pigeon. What are you doing? You're hiding behind me because you got scared. You get attacked by swallows, did you? So yeah, they've just now got to wait. So it's a bit of a waiting game, obviously, with wildlife. You could be stood out here for hours. You could be stood out here for a minute. Well, a wren landing on the fence there. So yeah, I was almost tempted to buy a little tent, one of the little camouflage ones, and stick it here, and then put some bird feeding and stuff like that to attract birds, and they could just come down and sit in there. I might actually order one, and then it could just come down here, sit in there with the camera set up on a tripod, and just get some cool shots, hopefully. But we shall see how that goes as it gets colder and more. I mean, this is dry, I suppose, in a tent. You can pick them up relatively cheaply on Amazon, so maybe go and have a look in a minute. Maybe do a little bit of shopping. We shall see. But I'm thinking down here, because you've got lots of undergrowth, quite a good spot to bang a post in the ground and put a bird feeder on, and then they've got the fence and everything to land on as well. So yeah, we shall see. But Tommy's now sat sort of in the sun, but not out the wind, I guess. There's a swallow buzzing around over there. Yeah. Apparently we've got an eclipse happening, but I don't think the sun. Well, once the sun goes, moon comes up about 20 minutes. You bugger. 20 minutes. Where's it gone? 20 minutes after the actual eclipse has happened. So who knows? But what I really want is a shot of one of these swallows low down. So what I've got is I've got the camera set at 3200. I don't use auto ISO, but because of the way the light's been changing quite a bit, I've actually got it set to auto ISO up to 6400 ISO. I'm at 1/3200th of a second, f6.3. But as you can see, the light is changing a little bit due to cloud up there that's coming this way. So we are going to lose the sun in about 30 seconds probably. I've just looked straight into the sun, which is not ideal. So this is going to go, this light. We've got a swallow up there, but trying to get a swallow low down in the grass flying is not the easiest shot to grab, especially their complete erratic manoeuvres. So we've got one up here. That's why I love the 200 or 600, and if you've got the 400 or 800, the same system, that's super fast, zoom in and out, which means you can back out. Oh, I just missed the idea. Back out with the, oh, there he is. Can't stay with him. And there's the light, it's gone. So, oh. There's some sunshine would be nice. I'm on him, but there's no light. This is the trouble where the sun's gone. Because those birds, well, I'll show you the shot. Yeah, it's just a silhouette. Believe it or not. Got a couple of shots, but we need that sunlight. Because they're a dark bird, obviously they've got a white under, a bit like a killer whale. They've got the white belly, but they're dark on top. So we just need the light really, because you've got to have that fast shutter speed to freeze them, because they're not easy to capture. He's right out across the other fields. There's another one coming in. Oh, I had him, but I didn't release. Again, missed. It's because they changed direction so quickly. He was coming like that, low across the grass. I've focused on it, and then it's suddenly gone up like that. And you, as a human, you cannot physically react that quick, especially when you're zoomed in on them heavily, because obviously your angle of view at 600 is very narrow. That's why it's backing out to 200 is quite handy, because you can literally go 200 and find your subject and then zoom in on them as they're moving around. But it's quite a difficult one to do. Ideally, I need to be down on the ground looking lower so I can get on that angle. Here's one here, look. And they do it when you're not ready. They're literally like, oh, he's got his camera down, not looking at me. I'll just fly really close now and just get a really piss-takey shot and then bugger off. And Tommy's just sat here. Chirp, chirp. That one's just gone over. Yay, some sunshine again for not long. This is another cloud. But they're so quick. There you go. There's 4 of them out at the moment. Maybe 5 actually. Oh no, there's 3 there. Big noisy plane. We'll go up in the air with them. 2 up in the sky. 1 coming down, bloody hell quick. Chasing another one. It's staying with them, so I'm using my left eye as open. Oh, I may have got him then. Don't know. Oh. Yep, camera did. The A1, did it in focus? No, not quite. There's a few there. Hard to say. I know we've got light again. It's yeah. Don't know. There we go. Another one going down. Just got. He's up. He's going across the field behind. It's amazing how the A1, I mean all of the cameras now have got fantastic autofocus, and the way they can just track stuff, it's, you know, as good if not better than a fighter jet, you know, half the time. Especially when it's small and it's moving around the frame like this and it's still holding on, it's crazy. And they do that, literally come flying past you. One, because Tommy's here. If I move out of the way, they'll probably try and attack him. That's probably why he's sat here. 2 going around. It's difficult, but that's the challenge of wildlife. It'd be too easy, wouldn't it, if it was easy? But I like the challenge, you know, just a bit of fresh air and trying to learn how to move quick. You bastard. Got him. But at 200, he's going up to catch the bugs. That's quite clever. It's quite amazing to watch. Just appreciating wildlife. It's quite incredible. No, they buggered off. What the swallows tend to do is they sort of expel a load of energy, get a load of food. If they're feeding young or whatever, which they're probably not now, they'll then rest for 10-15 minutes. They sort of, you see them perch on trees or power lines, telegraph poles, stuff like that, and have a 10-15 minute little break, and then they come back out again. So yeah, it's definitely a interesting one in that sort of thing, how they work, you know. But now I know there's a wren here, there's going to be other wildlife as well. I know there's shrews in here, there's mice because of a certain someone killing them. We've got the fox that wanders around every day, you've got the deer that come up through the thing as well. So I think I'll be purchasing a tent shortly for tomorrow. Everyone come tomorrow. We can put it up and get set up in here. And let's see. EasyJet plane straight above us. Hello, EasyJet plane. Tom, what are you doing? What are you doing? You rolling down? Oh, one back out. Need to try and get them coming back up. And the light's gone crap again. So I've dropped down to, oh, see what I mean? They come in, I'm sure they do it on purpose. Oh, they're there. So you've got a few there. One coming in. Speed they rotate. So I'm shooting at 30 frames a second. I don't actually know if the 200, 600 will focus quick enough to give you 30 frames per second, but we are on high plus. It definitely captures a lot more than you would do in medium. So, one coming down. Moving fast enough. Jesus, oh, he's gone back again. That's what I mean. Comes up here, so I'm ready to go that way, then he turns around and goes back down again. But I can't physically see it doing that. There's two of them. The light's not great. Anyway, another plane. Anyway, me and Tommy are going to snap out here for a bit. I'm not going to waste filming too much because just me talking crap, isn't it, while I'm snapping pictures. So yeah, we'll be setting up something out here. I think it'd be quite cool to be able to do, because it's still quite warm at the moment. So I can come out here and sit in a tent and set up some food bits and pieces and try and attract some wildlife, and then we can get in and out and we shall have a look. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later, and yeah, here are the photos that I've taken. Ones I'm kind of happy with, probably a couple in there that I'll explain the reason why I'm not particularly happy, how I didn't move quick enough or whatever, or the sunlight was rubbish. And yeah, so anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Right, quick snap of Tommy there, and as you can see, the settings are up the top there. Problem was, light was changing constantly due to the big fluffy clouds, so the ISOs are all over the place. Next shot here, you can see 1/500th of a second shooting the Kestrel. Long way away, so quite a large crop in, but still, you know, it looks okay. Focusing, never really an issue, but as you can see here, using auto ISO, it's a difficult one to get correct sometimes, you know, and you know, dark subject, light background, not easy. Completely missed a shot here. The swallow absolutely disappeared out of shot. He turned left and I carried on right. So just a bokeh shot there. Love a cloud, especially when they're looking a bit interesting, and you know, can give you interesting patterns, and you know, almost cut the image in half. With a bit of white and a bit of blue, and you know, it just looks quite interesting, I find. But you know, this one looked really cool because it had a really grey dark bit in the middle, and then it was just white and fluffy on the outside. So another cloud shot there. It just worked. I think it was quite nice. It's almost like a painting. This shot here was quite nice, not perfect, but that's about a mile away and cropped in a little bit. But as you can see here, the sunlight coming through and heavy shadows, it just looked quite nice, I thought. So heading into the autumn look. Shooting straight into the sun, f/36 you can see here, 1/32,000th of a second shooting through the clouds. You can actually see the sunspots a little bit there if you crop in a bit more. So here we go. Not quite fast enough shutter speed, so a little bit of motion blur on the bird itself, and the light wasn't great, so my shutter speed was too slow. So a learning curve on that one. Tommy again, so he's just looking at me. But again, auto ISO, not too bad. Colour looks quite nice. He's got shading on one side of him due to shadows. Again, you can see his poorly eye there. You know, obviously cancer in his eye, which is really sad. But you know, he's doing okay, bless him. But just another snap, just snapping away at him, really, just as you know, just because. Another one looking slightly to the left. He was staring at the birds chirping away over there, over to the left-hand side there, across the meadow, having a good old scratch. So there we go. You can see where I had higher shutter speed, didn't really need it, but it's because I was shooting the birds and I've just looked down and he's doing something. So auto ISO to the rescue there without any adjustments. As you can see here, quite dark, and even the background's not brilliantly, so a bit of a flat, boring shot really, didn't really work. This one here, fully adjusted, as you can see, a highish ISO, say medium-ish ISO, fast shutter speed, but you'll see the next shot. There you go, that's the actual shot, heavily underexposed. It's because the light reading has been taken from the sky, so it's reduced the ISO down and it's not brilliant, but luckily you've got loads of dynamic range so you can pull it back. You're thinking, oh, just another bokeh shot. No, but if you look closely, it's actually a butterfly, and I've cropped in a lot on this shot so you can actually see it, but it's actually about a quarter of the actual image. So the fact is that the camera's still focused on a little butterfly. It's quite amazing, and just tracked it. Plane going into a cloud, nothing all that exciting. I always just find it amazing where they just disappear, and last time you ever see that plane. Not a bad shot, but too far away. I've cropped in obviously top and bottom a little bit and zoomed in slightly, but still it's sharp actually. It's not too bad. Bit of a shot here of the sunspots on the thing, and actually another shot I've actually overlaid just to add a bit of interest, just messing around. A little bit of a spooky shot there with a bird silhouette. Not an ideal background, the greenhouse, but 200mm. Just a quick got to, coming at me. Again, this is how fast they turn. He literally did a complete 90-degree turn and buggered off the other way in less than that view of what you can see. So it's quite amazing how maneuverable they are. This shot not too bad. Not really any adjustments, but the light's quite nice, but he's way over to the right hand side of the frame, and to get in there you'd have to crop heavily. Again, another one, basically edge of the frame. To get him in shot and keep up with them sometimes is almost impossible. So fast moving birds are a real challenge, and I quite like that. This one here is probably the best shot of the day. Still quite a biggish crop in, but still there's plenty of detail. It's sharp. One wing down, not ideal, but the light's okay, and it's quite nice. Bird quite a long way away, but heavily shadowed as well, which isn't brilliant. And it was just cruising around, obviously looking for dinner. Here's one here, slightly pushed up the shadows to show a bit of detail under the wing, because he's actually, the sun's above him looking down. As you can see, they're sort of light in his head, but not underneath the wings. I don't know if it's the same butterfly, but another butterfly came flying past and I managed to grab it. And that's kind of like the first time I've ever managed that with the 200 or 600. So quite pleased. Bit of a big crop in, but still. EasyJet, little advert for EasyJet. Just looking up into the sky, flying over my head. You can read the number plate quite easily, or the wing plate as we call it. Here we go, slightly closer to that bird. Not brilliantly sharp because my shutter speed was a little bit slow and it was flying quite quickly. But again, sunlight onto the edge of the shoulders there and into its face, but unfortunately I had to pull the shadows up on the wings. Tommy there again, looking straight down to the camera. Yeah, I mean, is what it is. He's a little bit fluffy at the moment. He's getting his winter coat. Again, this shot here, not brilliant, but not too bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a like, subscribe, and all that shenanigans, and I'll see you soon for another video.